We like the colorful things. We like that this is the production time because it's raining. We have a lot of harvest, and we celebrate dancing and decorating our tree on that way. The people who is dancing here, my friends, they belong to the environment of the mayor, right? So those are the ones who are going to be able to cut the tree and share with everybody around, right? Enjoy the picture, my friends. Happy dancing. The one that his name means the one who transformed the world. He is the one who established that all the temples, they need to have this kind of architecture, no more than in between. So that's 1350. Okay? So we're guessing that that happens also here. But they never finish. You see the rocks? Look at the rocks behind you. They were on process to go over there. I will explain you how it's supposed to go there, right? This rock that is right behind me, this weighs 45 tons.
Dang.
And the Incas, in order to move this one, they make a ramp. Look at the ramp. This is original also, the ramp. They were having rollers one after another. The one that they've been destroyed because they abandoned this rock here. The humidity and the weight of the stone just damage it, smash it, and it's not the rollers anymore. Yeah, but they were
Were they
moving this
just
rock.
wood rollers?
They were wooden rollers. Yes, wooden rollers. Sometimes we were having, yes, when they have one next to each other, they can resist a little bit. Well, we never tried it.
Disperse the surface area, right?
Yep.
Science.
We don't really we don't really know exactly because we didn't prove it, but that is the theory. But one thing I'm gonna explain you here. Watch out, my friend. We're gonna leave some space, people passing by. One thing I'm gonna explain you here. Something very interesting. They made an experiment in the Easter Island. You know the Easter Island?
Oh,
They
yeah.
have the huge
I want to
moais.
go.
Over there, they were trying to figure it out. How much people do you need in order to move 1 ton stone? And they find out that you need at least 15 people, 15 people to move 1 ton stone. How many people do you need for this rock, my friends?
45 times 15.
More than 600.
Wow.
Yes. Yes, because it's 45 tons. Yes. So that's why, my friends, it's impossible to fit 600 people in a straight line here. Because you need that strength in it. So forget about the rollers, if they crash or not. How are you gonna fit that people to move this one? So that's why we can see that maybe the Incas are gonna have a kind of pulley system, something that is gonna help them to move these rocks, or maybe something else. We don't really know. Just to give you an idea, how heavy is the bus that Samuel is driving?
How heavy is it?
Yep. The bus?
Yeah.
No. The bus is only 7 pounds, my friends. sorry, not pounds, tons.
Oh, I thought this was a joke.
Yes,
I was like,
no, really.
I'm like, wait a minute, we're half beneath.
Okay, with us on top with the lunch, all right, it's 8 tons, okay? Try to move that bus, my friend. It's heavy, even that has wheels, and in an inclined level, it's really difficult. Imagine 45 tons. How the Incas were able to move it without wheels, rollers only. So this is the amazing work that they have done. And why they needed to move this? Because they were building the main temple over there. Look at, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rocks aligned together, perfect joints, in order to worship the most important Incan god. I will explain you. Who is the most important Incan god? Do you know? No? Good guessing though. The sun is not. It's important though, but no. Another one. Quetzalcoatl is Aztec. Yes, but nice try. Thank you. Atahualpa is the name of one of the last kings. Tunupagay? No. The name of the Incan god, I'm very sure you're gonna remember this, is Apucontexi Pachachachis Apucuntay Gotcha! Once again, slowly. Apucontexi Pachachachis Apucuntay Huiracocha. Alright? He is just energy. He's above the sun, the moon, the mountains, Mother Earth, and everything.
I love that. He's energy.
Yeah, he is just like that, alright?
That's great.
We're gonna shortcut his name. We call him Huiracocha.
Huiracocha.
Right? Let's go over there. Come over here.
Wait, did you notice that these are smooth? Yeah. They're kind of soft.
We need a picture. We need a picture of the rock.
Can someone take a picture of Bryn and I with this rock? Bryn, I got my phone. Okay. Bryn and I are kind of rock nerds. And people need like.
And I've been there.
John, turn around. Oh, I love that.
This is what they were planning to use as a temple of the sun. That's just
They just carve it and they move it all the way over there and then try to do it. Yes, they were having chisels, yes, but mostly they were having rocks. The rock that they found in the bottom of the river, they are around the river. The farthest part of the they were having bronze chisels. Yeah, but often the bronze chisels were just to use it like to move it, not to carve it. Okay? Very good. Everybody, my friends, now we are in the front of the main temple, the one that is unfinished again now.
Is this original?
100%.
It kind of looks fake.
And it's also a picture right there.
100%. Yeah, it is. Yeah. My friends.
so it's not
They
just you.
did such a great job, my friends, in order to worship the most important divinity. Right here, probably they're gonna make the ceremonies in order to say thank you for everything they have for the Incas. Because it's providing the food, it's providing the rain, it's providing the health, it's providing everything. That's why they did such a great job. But one important thing is that we have to analyze the technology that they have done here. For example, Peru is an area that have a lot of earthquakes. When the earthquakes come, everything shakes, isn't it? So the Incas, they knew that very well. So in order to avoid this one get broken, that's why they put these stones in the middle. Small ones, tall ones, because they are in between the big ones. So when this earthquake will come, it's gonna provide a little flexibility and it's not gonna get broken, right? Second one, you notice? Have a look over there. It's a little incline, my friends, so that give better stability to the structures. And the third one, and the most important, they did such a great job. No mortar in between the rocks, yes, because they carved perfectly. But what about this? How come they did such a bad job in the bottom?
Yeah.
Why is that? Over there also, you get to see some over there in the corner. Below this structure, there is like 6 feet of this kind of a structure, below this. Why they did that? Because they knew when the earthquake is coming, the strength is coming from the ground. And this is like a spring absorbing all the shocks and then doesn't arrive that strong up here. After many earthquakes, 3 of them they were over 8 grade of a Richter scale. The only damage is this, my friends. Look at that. This rock moved a little bit from the other. It's not that close. So that technology that the Incas were having to build, it's been lost, my friends. And we have the proof. This is still standing, right? Now, we have a carving here, a little one. What is this? This is the symbol of the Incan religion, all right? I will show you now. For sure, I was born here. My parents and my grandparents teach me with the traditions that we have here in Peru. So I strongly believe on the Incan religion. So that's why I have this necklace with me, little color. This is the main symbol of the Incas. It's called chacana, with the steps going 3 steps on each side, making like a cross. We call it the Andean cross, right? This is the symbol of our religion. We choose this one because the Incas were having this one. It's marking that we have, my friends, each corner have a representation. We shortcut those ones to 3 to each level, yes? It's having the representation of the 3 Andean worlds, of the 3 animals who represented our worlds, also from the 3 core values, the 3 ways of work. So everything was divided on 3, my friends. So that's why for the Incas, that symbol was the most important. Now I'm gonna tell you one interesting fact. The best carvers were coming from the area around the Lake Titicaca, my friends. So the scholars are guessing that it was a big drought in that area a long time ago, 1,000 years after Christ. And that people, they have to move, looking for better areas, like these valleys, my friends, yes? So when they came to the valleys, they established here and they came with the technology of carving. That's why they have the symbol also here. The symbol that they were using in those areas, we have the same symbol here. So this religion or tradition is all along the mountains of Peru. Yeah? So that's the interesting thing. Now, I will show you the ramp. Come with me. Be careful, my friends. It's very windy over there, especially if you have your hats. Right? Don't let it blow. Don't let it blow. Over here. To avoid people without paying the ticket to come up here. But this ramp is going all the way down the straight to the valley, right? And then going up to the quarry, right? This is the ramp that the Incas have used in order to bring the stones all the way to the mountain, right? So, this is what we have here in Ollantaytambo. That's why, my friends, Ollantaytambo is my second favorite after Machu Picchu. There is a lot of mystery and they have a lot of beautiful work that the Incas have done. Right? Now, my friends, it's gonna be time to go down. This is no cable car, so it's like a slider. They have tunnels where you can go and play hide and seek. There are huge rocks. They have a flat area where you can play soccer. I was doing that when I was a kid. Nowadays we have a lot of restrictions. But that area was amazing. And you know what I want to be when I was a kid? I want to be an archaeologist. I was seeing myself like Indiana Jones. And I was a little bit doing excavation. You excavate a little bit and you find beautiful pieces of pottery. Not entire broken. And that one I was holding it. Lamalex. And they're gonna walk wherever the Inca architect wanted them to go. I looked to my grandpa and I said, too much coca lips, grandpa. But believe me, my friends, after he told me that, I was dreaming with it. I was trying to find always the way how the Incas were able to move such a great rocks. After I was reading so many books, my friends, I stick with my grandpa's story. I'd rather imagine that because the conventional history sometimes has so many holes on it that it's hard to believe. But I stick with my grandpa story, and I just wanted to share that with you, my friends, to feel what I feel. Right? I really hope you enjoy here, my friends. It's